Hi everyone! In the study of statistics, index numbers are the utmost requisite. Imagine how would it be without these numbers while you change the variable in the estimation of any particular statistics. The procedure itself will turn out to be completely ineffective. Index numbers are used a lot in the economy, whether it's the GDP data, house prices, productivity, exchange rates, or inflation. We really like to use index numbers a lot. Why and how can we actually get index numbers? This video is gonna look at that. So let us know more about index numbers. We will examine a useful descriptive tool called an index. An index expresses the relative change in a value from one period to another period. No doubt that you are familiar with these indexes, such as the Consumer Price Index, which is released monthly by the US Department of Labor. There are many other indexes too, such as the Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJIA, Nasdaq, Nikkei 225, and Standard & Poor's 500 Stock Average. Indexes are published on a regular basis by the federal government, by business publications such as Businessweek and Forbes, in like most daily newspapers and also on the internet. Of what importance is an index? Why is the Consumer Price Index so important and so widely reported? As the name implies, it measures the change in the price of a large group of items consumers purchase, like the Federal Reserve Board, consumer groups, unions, management, senior citizens organizations, and others in business and economics are very concerned about changes in prices. These groups closely monitor the Consumer Price Index, as well as the Producer Price Index, which measures price fluctuation at all stages of production. To combat sharp price increases, the Federal Reserve often raises the interest rate to cool down the economy. Likewise, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is updated continuously during the business day, describes the overall change in common stock prices of 30 large companies. So, what is an index number? An index or index number measures the change in a particular item, typically a product or service, between two time periods. Index number is a number that expresses the relative change in price, quantity, or value compared to a base period. So, why should we convert data to indexes? Compiling index numbers is not a recent innovation. An Italian, G.R. Carli, is credited with originating index numbers in 1764. They were incorporated in a report he made regarding price fluctuations in Europe from 1500 to 1750. No systematic approach to collecting and reporting data in index form was evident in the United States until about 1900. The Cost of Living Index, now called the Consumer Price Index, was introduced in 1913, and a long list of indexes has been compiled since then. Why convert data to indexes? An index is a convenient way to express a change in a diverse group of items. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, for example, encompasses about 400 items, including golf balls, lawn mowers, hamburgers, funeral services, and dentist fees. Prices are expressed in dollars per pound, box, yard, and many other different units. Only by converting the prices of these many diverse goods and services to one index number can the federal government and others concerned with inflation keep informed of the overall movement of consumer prices? Converting data to indexes also makes it easier to assess the trend in a series composed of exceptionally large numbers. For example, the estimate of U.S. retail e-commerce sales for the fourth quarter of 2010, adjusted for seasonal variation, was $36,200,000. E-commerce sales for the fourth quarter of 2009 were $30,700,000. This is an increase of $5,500,000. If e-commerce sales for the fourth quarter of 2010 are expressed as an index based on the fourth quarter of 2009, the increase is 17.9%. We already discussed the construction of a simple price index. The price in a selected year, such as 2010, is divided by the price in the base year. The base period price is designated as P0, and a price other than the base period is often referred to as the given period or selected period and designated PT. To calculate the simple price index, P using 100 as the base value for any given period. Use this kind of formula. And now we move on to creating an index using SPSS. SPSS is a short for statistical package for the social sciences, and various kinds of researchers use it for complex statistical data analysis. The SPSS software package was created for the management and statistical analysis of social science data. It was originally launched in 1968 by SPSS Inc. and was later acquired by IBM in 2009. I will show you the steps of creating an index using SPSS with data taken from the Central Bureau of Statistics of North Sulawesi. We will find out the progress of the increase or decrease in the value of North Sulawesi's non-oil and gas exports in index form based on April 2022 data compared to the same month in 2021. North Sulawesi non-oil and gas exports will be taken according to the goods class HS 2-digit. The HS code is a World Trade Goods classification system to make it easier to set tariffs, record trade transactions, control transportation, and report trade statistics. Currently, the HS code is the basis for classifying export-import products in Indonesia and is translated into the Indonesian Import Duty Tariff Book (BTBMI), which means explains tariffs per product. In this data is used goods category HS 2-digit, which means the first 2 digits are the main classifier chapter. North Sulawesi's total non-oil and gas exports in April 2021 were $70,720.01, and North Sulawesi's total non-oil and gas exports in April 2022 were $91,413.32. There are 10 categories of goods, HS 2-digit, plus the number of other categories of goods in it. We will calculate the index of each of the 10 categories of goods, HS 2 digits, and the number of other categories of goods, and also the total non-oil and gas exports. So, from there, we can find out whether North Sulawesi's non-oil and gas exports, according to goods class HS 2 digits, have increased or decreased with their numbers. First, we have to write down our data in Excel. I classified them into 3 variables. That is the items, the base period price, that is April 2021, and the selected period price, that is April 2022. Second, we move on to SPSS. Copy the data to data view, but only the data, not with the 3 variables label. Then, move on to the variable view, where we can see all the 3 variables. Change the name into the variable's name and also change its label name. Now that we have our data all organized, third, it's time we determine the price index. Using compute variable, which can be found at transform, because we want to make a new variable that is the price index, we write it on the target variable. Then, we make the formula on the numeric expression based on the price index formula we talked about earlier. We insert the selected period price variable, which is April 2022. Then divide it by the base period price variable, which is April 2021, times 100 as the base value, subtracted by 100 to know whether it is increasing or decreasing by its plus or minus sign. And then we're done. From this data, we can see that 3 items decreased, which are precious metals and jewelry or gems, HS 71, coffee, tea and spices, HS 09, and also fruits, HS 08. The highest contributor occupied by commodities of animal or vegetable fat and oils, HS 15. And the highest price index is occupied by fish, crustaceans, and mollusks, HS 03, which means it has the highest increase. The price index of total non-oil and gas exports is 24.00, which means North Sulawesi's non-oil and gas exports had increased 24% in a year from April 2021 until April 2022. From this data, we have also proven that an index is a convenient way to express a change in a diverse groups of items, and with an index, we can easily monitor something like exports and imports. So that's it all about index numbers. Whiskey Bilar is falling in love with Lesti. Thank you for your attention, bestie.